Guten Morgen. From Sindelfingen, Germany. We are outside of Stuttgart. We got here last night. This is where we stayed the evening. We are right near, I guess, the Mercedes-Benz factory. Where we have been staying has been kind of negotiated as we have traveled, you might say. And as you can see, it looks like it's, at least as of this morning, another wet and a little bit on the cold side of the day. But maybe it will get better. Who knows? Today it is Monday, April 13th, 2026, as I record this. And I will be heading home tomorrow. So we'll have a travel video tomorrow on the plane and I don't know, beyond. But yeah, today we are going to go into Stuttgart. We were looking last night, trying to come up with some things to do. And there is a Porsche museum nearby. So we thought that would be a really awesome adventure. But it's Monday and they are closed. Then we realized there is a Mercedes-Benz museum. And it is Monday and they are closed. I guess this is a problem you should be aware of if you come to Germany. Many of the museums close on Monday. They were open yesterday, but we weren't here yesterday, so that did not help us. So we are going to find some things to do. One of the things I have to do, I actually have to return something I bought in Hamburg. When we were in Hamburg, I bought a Lego set for my wife. It's one you cannot get in Germany, or in America, I should say. And they had it here, and I bought it. I knew better, but I bought it. And then I realized there's absolutely no way I can fit it into my suitcase, even opening it up, because it is a very large set. So we have to find the Lego store so I can return that. But we might go see some sights in the city center. And then there's a couple things on the way. We're going up to Frankfurt. That's where I fly out of tomorrow. So we will see what adventures we can find along the way. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. We've arrived in Stuttgart. I need to return my Lego set, and then we will get on with the rest of our day. I find it interesting when I'm traveling and I walk down these main plazas and I see American companies. Here we see Five Guys.
What else?
They're famous for cheeseburgers.
Oh, all right.
Andreas is asking, he's never seen a Five Guys before, so I was telling him they're famous for cheeseburgers, and then their fries. Their French fries, you get a cup. You will order a small fry, and it's like more fries than you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is
It's just order small fries, and you'll be.
Yeah. Do not order the medium or the large. That would be very bad. That will not end well for you.
And no cheeseburger with it.
No, you want to get the cheeseburger. Their cheeseburgers are good. They're more expensive than, say, for example, In-N-Out Burger.
But then you have to decide whether you eat all the potatoes or the hamburger.
We're American. We eat them all.
Oh, okay.
That's why we all are so
Sorry,
big.
Yes. I'm bigger than you, actually.
I don't know.
You're taller.
I'm taller. I am not sure what that is. We'll have to look. So this tower is the Stiefskirche. Kirche is church. Maybe we can go in and take a quick peek. I'm not sure if you can hear the bells going off. It's quite nice. We were walking. I told Andreas, I said, maybe we could go and just take a quick peek in the church. And the door is open and they would allow it. However, it looks like they have like a prayer session that's starting at 12:15, and it is 12:13 right now, so I didn't really want to go in and interrupt that. But even just looking at the outside of the building, it's very impressive. It's neat to come and be around these buildings and think they were around for hundreds of years before the country I live in was founded.
He has a book, so maybe it's.
So there's this statue. We are not sure who it is. But we do know that he was born in November of 1779.
Friedrich Schiller.
Andreas can tell us who it is, he said. He just realized.
He's a famous author and playwright, Friedrich Schiller.
Okay.
And he's very often called in together with Johann Wolfgang von Goethe.
Okay.
Goethe was the older one, born in Frankfurt. Schiller, I think I remember, was born here, I'm not sure.
Maybe.
And they were companions in Erfurt, I think.
Okay.
And Schiller was something like a disciple or
A
of
follower,
Goethe.
yeah.
Goethe was already established and Schiller wasn't. And but they were the most famous playwrights of those days in Germany, I'd say.
Okay.
There's some others, but they are the top two.
We have arrived at the Schlossplatz. This is the Palace Square. Looks like it's quite a nice place. You can see we've got a statue up on this pillar. Wonderful little fountain. From what I understand, this area was built in the late 1700s, early 1800s. They had moved the palace here, and they used this area a lot for like military demonstrations or marches. You know, probably, I would assume it's, you know, a formal thing to show off the military to the king or, you know, whatever, the local ruler. But it is a very nice place. This monument here is for King Wilhelm. There's an engraving, or a title at least, on the base here. It translates to the most faithful friend of his people, King Wilhelm. I guess this is in regards to like the working class. This monument to the fire of his 25th Jubilee on October 30th, 1921. At the base you can see the king, and you've got all the people, the workers, and everyone showing their respects. One of the challenges I find when you travel, especially to places where you're not familiar with, and you know you haven't studied or anything like that. Like I didn't know I was going to come to Stuttgart, so I'm not familiar with the history of this area, especially since I am an American. That's not generally something they teach in school. They focus more on American history, of course. So you see these neat monuments, statues, things to people, and you don't really know the context. And that's one of the challenges. Fortunately now we have the internet and we can kind of look some things up. We can translate with the Google Translate like I did on the statue there. Yeah, but it still doesn't take away from, you know, just kind of the excitement of going to new places and learning about new things. So let's continue on. There's a monument to Christoph Herzog von Württemberg. He was a noble in the area, evidently. And the date is 1556 on this, so. Continuing down die Straße. I mentioned earlier we saw the Five Guys. Well, here I saw something. TK Maxx. It looks very similar to the logo for an American company, TJ Maxx, but it is not the same. It's TK. I'm guessing it might be the same company. However, they in German the letter J is yacht, so maybe it's because of that. I don't know. Things you just don't know, and probably it doesn't matter. But I find it funny. Gonna run into Mueller, get a drink, see if we can find anything else. I mentioned the other day how fun it is to go into the grocery store and just see different things. Some of them you see are kind of what you would normally expect, but then you see other things you just are confused by. They have Ben's original rice. Not Uncle Ben's, just Ben's. And they have, looks like mostly water. I don't know. Maybe some kind of teas. Some fruit juices. This is, I guess, an adult-sized Capri Sun. I have never seen one like that. We're typically used to seeing this style. Fantas. Spezi. That's like a cola and orange soda. And then, of course, Coke. Sprite. I've got Powerade in a can. Who knew? All right, I have to try a vanilla Coke. I love vanilla Coke. I gotta see if it's the same here. Probably is. And I'll just be disappointed. I'll just be happy I got the same thing. And then I get a Capri Sun because I want to feel like I'm 6. Make a quick pass down some of the other aisles. You can get a Solar Queen Jubilee or a Solar Frida Kahlo. Definitely got to check out the candy aisle. Gummy is, of course, super big in Germany. I've got some gums, Mentos, the Fresh Maker. Ricola. I'm gonna have to try these. It says they are terrifying jalapeno and cream cheese inferno. Now, my understanding is that the German people do not like hot and spicy foods, so it'll be interesting to see if it is really terrifying. Got some chocolates, Kinder. These ones are my favorite, the Duplo. I already picked some of those up at the store where I couldn't film the other day. And down here we have some horses and planes and chocolate. We are outside of Mueller's. We're gonna try our chips. Terrifyingly jalapeno cream cheese inferno. And he got some Dennis Schroeder Katias. They are gummy, what are they? Gummy?
Gummy.
Just gummy.
Just gummy.
Okay.
We'll find out.
And I'll try my vanilla Coke, so. All right, well, you wanna open the chips?
Don't you have vanilla Coke?
Huh? We do, but I gotta see if it's any good here. Maybe
Yeah,
it's,
might be, yeah.
maybe it's different.
Yeah.
I do like vanilla Coke, I like it a lot, but. Feels like it might have a little more vanilla in it.
Okay.
Yeah. You wanna open those?
Okay.
Holding the camera. There's our chip, kind of a weird.
Not spicy.
I can taste a little bit of jalapeno flavor, like the flavor of a jalapeno, but not really any of the spice. But would this be spicy for Germans?
Not for me, but for us.
This would be spicy for my daughter. She doesn't like hot things, but she thinks water's spicy. That's the joke we have.
They are not water spicy. Katja, this is for you.
It's funny that he thinks my daughter watches my video. We're gonna try the gummy Katias from NBA star Dennis Schroeder.
Signature.
Okay, look at that. I got a basketball. I can smell the gummy. Like I can smell the sugar.
This is his signature?
Maybe.
I think.
Here's a store. Andreas didn't understand why I thought it was funny. Nanu Nana. I asked Andreas if he was familiar with Mork and Mindy, and he said, I don't think we had it. And I said, Nanu Nanu is what Mork would say in that show, Robin Williams' character. So, Nanu Nana. So we have walked through the pedestrian zone. We're back in the Schlossplatz, headed back towards the car. We're gonna maybe see if we can make our way up to Heidelberg. There's a castle there, an old town. Maybe we can find something there. I do wonder if it's going to rain. It does seem like it might, but you never know. We'll see what happens. After leaving Stuttgart, we drove for quite a while. It's about an hour and a half. There was moments where we ran into traffic and construction, and the route ended up taking us through some lovely countryside. Got to see some smaller German towns, some wonderful little places, and then coming upon the space leading into Heidelberg. It was quite beautiful because there was the river and you had some buildings on one side of the river and then the main part on the other. And now here I am in, I guess, kind of the main square or main plot. You can see up on the hill, rising over this building, is the ruins of Heidelberg Castle. There's quite a few tourists here. This is a very popular place for people to visit. But we are going to go and see if we can take the inclinator, I guess it would be, the train that goes up the hill. I think it's in a tunnel, but we're going to see if we can find it and go up and check out the ruins. We have found the station to ride up the hill. As Andreas has just told me, it is not the most beautiful building in town. Whoop. Got my ticket. Take your ticket. So now I am ready to go into the funicular, or the underground uphill railway. I've ridden funiculars before, but I don't know that I have ever taken one in a tunnel like this. It's quite an interesting experience.
Nächster Halt, Station Schloss. Für den Schlossbesuch bitte aussteigen. Next stop, Castle Station. Please leave here to visit the castle.
Exit to the castle. We have arrived. We are not with a tour group. We don't really have a plan. We're just going to kind of wander the grounds and see what we find. There seems to be quite a few people on tours, but we're going to just do our own tour.
I think the people behind us are from Argentina. At least we were talking.
Pretty amazing views from up here at the castle. You can see how a castle like this would really provide some great advantages in fortification, seeing people approaching, and great views. I did a little bit of research trying to find out what I could about the castle, and it sounds like the first parts of the castle, they don't know the exact year it was built, but it was somewhere around like 1297 to 1305 in that time range. But they don't know the exact origins. You know, you can see the ruins of one of the towers. It sounds as though there is quite a long history here in Heidelberg of the castle being attacked and taken over. During the 30 Years' War, it was attacked. The Swedes took this over in the 1600s. And I guess from the hill up here, before they were leaving, they blasted it with artillery to damage the castle. Then later in the 1600s, it was 1680s, the French took it over. And they actually, before leaving, they set fire to the castle and they blew up the front fat tower, which I think might be this one over here behind me. And they set fire to some of the buildings in the town as they were leaving. Then a few years later, the French came back again. They were trying to make sure that the fortifications were destroyed, I guess kind of in the region, so that they would not continue to be attacked and face threats. And so what they did is they tried to finish what they did, and they blew up many of the fortifications, the walls and whatnot with mines, is what it said. So I don't know if this part down here was done with mines or if this was done in the older part, but I'm glad they left some of it. They were also told to burn the city as they left, and the leader of the French army had compassion on the people and told them, light fires in your homes and to create the illusion of smoke so that you will be saved. Now, whether that's true or not, who knows? It could be one of these stories, but there you go. Here you can see, I assume this is the front fat tower that it talked about being destroyed. And you get a beautiful view of the town down there, complete with the cathedral and the valley beyond. So it does appear, I mean, there's certainly restoration work going on. You can see there's scaffolding up here, trying to reinforce the wall, it appears. But back in here, you can see occasionally electric lights. So I'm not sure if there's, you know, a museum or something else in there, but let's take a look, continue around the grounds and see what we can find. Looks like we've got an entrance to the castle, and our ticket should include that. Now those carvings are pretty friggin' cool. I like those lions with the swords. Wow. The thing that amazes me the most when I come to, you know, some older, I would almost say ancient site like this, is to just think of, there were people making this by hand without the power tools and electricity and things we have today. And it is just incredible to think that they accomplished this, because there's a lot of things that it seems that we would struggle to even get done today. Yet they didn't have those tools, and they did this. Wow. Now that is impressive. Looks like we might have a map of the castle. Now this model here shows what Heidelberg Castle looked like in 1680 at the height of its glory. You can see the beautiful towers over here. This one here is the Fat Tower where we were standing earlier. And then if we come over here, we will see this is how the castle looks today. You can see that whole front tower here is gone. Certainly just a shell of what it was before. But even as a shell of its former self, it is still so impressive, and you can see all of the tourists that have come here. There's tour buses we saw down here. We've seen groups of school children. We've seen people, we speculate they were from Argentina, from, you know, what we had heard. This is a place people come worldwide to view because it is I guess, romanticize the ruins. It's, you know, such a beautiful place. And many places, like in America, we don't have anything like this. So kind of cool. So we've got the Ausgang, or exit. But this is the one I'm interested in. The Großes Fass, or big barrel. I hope I find something to explain what the Großes Fass, or big barrel, is, because maybe it's like, you know, the water storage, you know, for the castle. But it just sounds very interesting to me. The big barrel.
And this one I'm not pretty using, but here.
Whoa, there it is. I think it is a big barrel. How cool is that? This is not something I expected to see. It said big barrel, and I asked Andreas, I said, does that mean barrel? He's like, I guess so. Look how big this is. This is crazy. This is like a ship. And it's got carvings. Like it's, this is, and then you've got people that put their own carvings, but don't do that. But this is pretty amazing. Now this barrel here, this is a good sized barrel. It's got cool carvings on it. This would be impressive in and of itself. And then they had to go and put it next to this one. This is just crazy to me. Of all the things I thought I was gonna see today, this is not it. This would have been low on the list. Okay, so I told you, I thought this wine barrel was pretty cool. And this one is amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. And I thought this would maybe be the highlight of the day. I was wrong. We gotta come around the corner here. You're not gonna believe what we're gonna see. I had no idea of what I was in for. So just to give you an idea of this massive barrel, you can see me going up the stairs here. And they have a walkway. We'll come down here and up to the platform on top of the barrel. And then you can see me. This is a massive barrel. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I am standing on what I assume is the world's largest barrel. They have a platform built up on top of it. You can see carved in the brick around. This is amazing. From here you can see the walkway where we entered. Well, this is blowing my mind. I cannot fathom this. I don't drink wine. I don't use barrels, but I am impressed by this. Now, according to the website, this barrel will hold 220,000 liters of wine. And it was only filled 4 times. Seems like an awful lot of work for not much use. My mind is blown, and that's all I can say. I'm not sure which flag that is. It is not the German flag. It's probably for the state.
The state, yes.
It's for Baden-Württemberg, is what Andreas just told me. So I was correct. I love it when I guess correctly. Now here's one of the towers on the other side before we go. We came around. This is kind of cool because a piece of the tower has fallen and you can see how thick that wall is. That is absolutely incredible. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be in here. I'm thinking, you know, since the story I read said that the Swedes were bombarding them down from the hill. Maybe this is kind of where that damage came from. I don't know for sure, but it's incredible. You could imagine being in there and hearing that. Just, it would be quite the sight to see and see that big wall fall. So we are back down in the heart of Heidelberg. This is the cathedral that we saw from up on the castle, the Schloss. So it looks like this is the Church of the Holy Ghost in Heidelberg. It's open, so we're going to go in and just take a quick peek. I don't know if they're going to be having service or anything, but I always like to go in these old churches, see how it's decorated. Love seeing the high ceilings and the stained glass. Looks like they have a Playmobil figure of Martin Luther. Yet another item I didn't have on my list of things I would see today. If you see this sign, it is the universe telling you you need a funny shirt. I need a funny shirt, evidently. I'm guessing they have them in here. They're closed! I can't get a funny shirt. Continuing down the pedestrian zone. Just seeing what we can find. I think we're going to look for some dinner. Andreas now has his heart set on Five Guys. You know that wasn't Five Guys. That was a Lebanese restaurant you were looking at.
Yeah, I was just curious whether it was if it was Turkish, it should have been a lahmacun down there, but it was just a pizza with meat.
Ah, okay.
Or a pide.
Well, we're gonna see if we can find Five Guys so he can fulfill his lifetime dream of eating Five Guys that he's had for 4 hours. Supposedly there's one up here. I have found the Five Guys. Andreas's dreams will come true. As an American, it is very interesting to see the Five Guys menu in German. Looks like it is €13.50 if you want to get a bacon cheeseburger. So definitely not cheap. And they have kiosks where you order. But as far as the actual process of making it, appears to be regular good old Five Guys that we know. So I have made Andreas a Utah specialty fry sauce. He's trying it. What do you think?
It's great.
You like it?
Yes.
Good. This is very popular in Utah. When I moved there...
It's neither ketchup nor mayo.
Yeah, it's ketchup, mayo, and relish is really what it is. And then he's got his burger here.
Shall we show it? Or is it...
It's okay. You went all the way, but then changed some stuff, so... All right, you can let us know what you think here. Sorry. You okay there? He doesn't get out much.
I don't know. I don't know how Gollum's voice...
It's very strange for me to come to Germany to go get excited about having American food. But I'm glad you're excited.
I always love trying new stuff.
Yep, there's Five Guys. So what do you think?
That's a burger.
It's a burger. Oh, it's quite good.
That is a proper burger.
So now that is what happens when an American takes a German to Five Guys.
Out for dinner.
Usually I am not a fan of the freestyle machines. However, in this case, I've found something I absolutely love on here. I'll show you this. All right, so they have this drink called Mezzo Mix. I really love it. It's orange and cola. But they have Fiersch, which is peach. And this is absolutely delightful. I think this might be my favorite new drink, and I'll never have it again. Heading back to the car. Gotta make our way to Frankfurt for the evening after we figure out where we will be staying. So you had your dreams of Five Guys fulfilled. How was it?
It was great.
You enjoyed it?
For a burger chain, it was really great. Ways better than McDonald's or Burger King.
Well, it's not the same. It's,
No, it's not.
Definitely a different level.
Yes.
And what did you think of the fry sauce?
That was Utah-style fry sauce. Homemade, well, self-made.
Yes.
That was really nice. That was really different. And
If you're nice to me, I might give you the recipe so you can make it at home. And that has brought us back to where we started, in the square where we parked, underneath the castle. You can see the sun is getting low, and our time in Heidelberg has come to an end. But it was quite an enjoyable day. He got his dream of Five Guys that he didn't know about before today. I got my dream of seeing the world's largest barrel, or I assume it is, that I didn't know about before today. So it was a good day. And now we will make our way to Frankfurt, hopefully near the airport, so that we can get there in the morning and I can catch my flight. After driving for an hour up the Autobahn with good views along the river, got to see lots of lit up castles as it got darker, we have arrived in the heart of Frankfurt. Here you can see behind me the Rathaus, or City Hall. This up here is the balcony. I guess it's a very famous balcony. When they win the World Championship, they come out there. That's what I was told, I don't know. This is what Andreas told me. And then behind us here, this is another famous area. You can see the classical German style. This is really the heart or the center of the city. And yeah, kind of cool. It's after 9 o'clock, so it's definitely late, and it's a Monday, so you can definitely see that, you know, there's not as many people milling about. And you wouldn't expect that. I don't think of Frankfurt as a huge tourist destination. It's kind of where people fly into. Maybe they come for work, but not really. I'm going to Frankfurt for a week, is I think kind of how people are. I've been to Germany a number of times, and I've never been here before, so that's why he wanted to come and show me kind of the heart of Frankfurt. He used to live here, so, or at least in the area. Let's see what else we can find. In the background of the City Hall building, you can see the skyscraper. This is the tallest building in Frankfurt back there. It's a bank building. I can't remember which one he told me it was. But yeah, this is, you know, going to kind of be the financial district of much of the country. Heading up from the town square, we can see the dome, or the cathedral. He said it's just a small dome, just one tower. Looks pretty big to me. This fountain here is the original fountain. Evidently, after the war, someone resurrected it out of the rubble, and they were able to place it. It's roughly in the same place. It's kind of cool, because a lot of this stuff has been reconstructed, but this is something that is original. This coffee house, as it is now, from what I understand, it used to be like a Dutch trading house, because normally the people here, the merchants would not show their wealth. So this house, it's been reconstructed in the old style, and it's much more opulent than what the other items would have been. So, kind of a cool building. There's the Museum of Modern Art. But we have two things against us. We can't go in because number one, it's late, and number two, it is Monday. Museums are closed on Monday. Remember, kids, that's important. From over here, you get a better view of the financial skyline. There's that tall tower that was behind the Rathaus, or City Hall. We'll get that light out of the way. And then Andreas was telling me that this building here used to be a church. I think he said it was St. Peter's Church. But then they converted it to a place where they had the first Democratic Congress in the 1800s, and it lasted for a short time, a few years, and now it is more of an events hall. You can see as we continue through the pedestrian zone, it is continuing to be very quiet. Most things are shut down. We've seen a few restaurants here or there, maybe a store that might be open, but for the most part, everyone has gone to bed, except for us. I'm kind of sad this is closed. This restaurant, or store I should say, is Cheese and More. And if you look at all the cheese. That is a lot of cheese. I think those are hollow. There's a little hole in some of these. There's no cheese in there. Lowly Ice Cafe. I love getting gelato when I am in Europe.
Was kostet die Kugel? 3 Euro.
So I have got Oma's Zitronenkuchen, or Grandma's lemon cake, I guess is what that is. That's pretty good. They had lemon and then they had lemon cake. I wasn't sure the difference, but I think I made a good choice. Looks like we've got a little bit more life over in this area. See a few more people milling about. Still, I wouldn't say it's lively, but at least McDonald's is open. And we're back where we started. Well, we started in Frankfurt. And this is going to be the end of today's video. It's quite a long adventure. There was a little bit of Lego sprinkled in there just in the return, but mostly just lots of fun and sightseeing in various German cities, Heidelberg, Stuttgart, and now Frankfurt. We're gonna head back to the hotel. Well, head to the hotel. We haven't been there yet, so we're gonna check in. Got a flight early in the morning. But for those of you that have stayed this far to watch, thank you. I appreciate you checking out the video and going on the adventure with me. And until next time, happy travels.